trying to pin this comment over here. So if there's any people coming in, I would ask them to come into this Telegram chat group, t.me/JohnTanProperty. If you want to receive daily news about the property market, about real estate. I think the live streaming right now I'm doing is on the 10 of August, 10 of October. So not sure whether this will affect the live performance of the video. But anyway, welcome for anyone that coming into the chat room, live channel. Feel free to comment anything that you want to ask. Let me try to add something at the background so that maybe in that way easier for me to showcase what I want to people to do lah, right? So yeah, welcome. If there's anything that you want to ask, just feel free to comment away so that I will be able to share with you more about the market updates. If not, usually I will just go through the news that is coming into the news recently. So obviously, the biggest news for today, it will be about Sim Lian bagging the Tampines site for $543 million at another record EC land rate, right? So the past few ECs has been showing very strong reserve. Not Alan, I'm John. Right, so we are talking about the past few ECs over here, right, happening in Singapore, right? Yeah, I think you got the wrong person. Yes. Okay, so we have been seeing that the previous record-breaking price for EC is at Tengah Plantation, right? And that one was the previous record EC that is breaking in terms of the record price. But now we have another plot of land happening in Tampines site, which is sold at 543 million, which means to say, right, if let's say this were to be launched 1 year 6 months later, usually the EC will be launched 15 months later. So when this particular EC is going to be launched 15 months later, right, this plot of land will likely going to be selling at close to 1,005 per square feet, right? Because if let's say right now we are talking about ECs happening in the Bukit Batok, right, already clocked average price of 1,474 per square feet. The next one coming up is definitely going to be selling higher and higher. So what does that mean to the buyers over here who are still looking at the EC sitting at the sideline? We have to accept that every year the land cost will get higher and higher. Developers, for some strange reason, they are very optimistic about what's going to be happening in the EC sites in terms of the affordability, because you can take a look at what's happening on the ground, right? If we compare the newer projects like the Mies, Botany, even Arden, these are the so-called the most affordable condo prices, right? They're already at 2,000 per square feet, 2,001 per square feet. But if let's say today for those Singaporeans that are still be able to qualify for the EC, right, going at 1,005 per square feet is still a $500 per square feet cheaper as compared to buying a normal new project, right? So this EC, right, was created by the government, supposedly is going to be targeted for the sandwich class, right? So but then you can see that if let's say this land costs keep on going higher and higher up, right? Thanks for the light, right? If we see that the land costs keep on going higher and higher up, right, it will come to a point whereby even the so-called sandwich class will feel that they are out of reach in terms of affordability, because right now the income cap is at 16,000. Yes, thank you for the comment, Sankala. If there's anything that you want to know, please feel free to comment. If there's anything that you want me to cover, feel free to comment. I'll be able to interact with you over here. So I was talking about the Tampines EC that is sold at record price, right? This came out in the news today. Is awarded by Sim Lian, right? Another record-breaking price, right? So we are seeing that land cost is getting higher and higher. It will come to a point whereby even the sandwich class will be somewhat priced out of the EC market, and that is where there's only two things that's going to be happening. Either the government will shift the income cap again previously is from 12,000 household income, they adjust it to 14,000, then they adjust it to 16,000. So the only way that so-called people can afford it is that the government will announce another adjustment in terms of the income ceiling to change it to 18,000, or they may want to create some sort of another adjustment towards how the EC is performing. Right now, especially we have seen the most recent plus standard and prime flat, right? We know that the government is trying to somewhat make sure that everybody is able to what's that called, have a more balanced approach towards housing, not so profit making driven. So if let's say they would want to overstep into the EC market, right, there could be another so-called round of review or adjustment going on. Because right now, if let's say today I'm a young couple, I still want to go towards the path of making the most from my property, right, then going for BTO, the standard flat, which has only the 5-year MOP, as well as EC, is the obvious choice. And of course, EC for first timers, most of the time, the only issue that they have will be the down payment. Income wise, usually they are quite okay. The down payment is an issue, which a lot of the EC buyers that I've met, the first timer especially, they would have some form of support from their parents. For the second timers, usually they have already made a bulk of their so-called wealth from the BTO that they had previously, plus the savings that they have over the years that will form up the down payment for their EC as a second timer. So that's what's happening in the EC market, which I think it should come very soon, that we will be expecting another income adjustment, or government may want to do something about this particular segment, right? Because from the way it is going, I don't think it is affordable anymore, even for the people who are earning 16,000, right? Now, another thing to note that we are seeing a one-off project. There are some sites that is being rezoned into residential use, which means to say that the government is trying to instill more supply in the one-off vicinity. For those who have joined, please help like and share. Then if let's say next time I go live, you will be able to notify. As much as possible, I will try to do it every Tuesday night, right, after the towards the end of the day lah, right? So we are seeing a new housing project coming up in the One North region, which means to say that the government is trying to make One North region, right, to have more residential units over there. If you look at Buona Vista One North MRT as of now, right, it's all office building, which is quite one dimensional, which means to say people are all going there, right? Basically, it's just for what's that called? It's just for purely for work base. It's a very huge so-called working work area, but you do not have any thanks for the gift, thanks for the ice cream, right? You do not have any any residential units over there. If you take a look at Buona Vista and One North region right now, only that few condos come in mind. For example, like Heritage View, Dover Park, the Rochester, One North, and recently only two more projects, which is the smaller scale one, such as the Blossom by the Park. Blossom by the Park did a very good sales, by the way. Within the first day, I think it was close to 70% sold. And then coming up next year, January, another plot of land is going to be launching over near One North MRT, which is the hill at One North, which the developer is by Kingsford. So congratulations for people who have bought Blossom residences. With this news, this piece of news happening, right, it just means that there will be going to be a more expensive plot of land coming up in the One North vicinity, right? So the government is always trying to introduce multi-dimensional kind of approach. Like in that particular segment, right, they try to make the area that is suitable for work, live and play all together, right? So we are seeing that there are more and more BTOs coming up in the prime area as well. For those people who are still aiming to go for BTO, please make sure to know that by end of next year, second half of next year, we will be going towards another category whereby it's based on plus, prime and standard, which means it's going to be a 10 years MOP. it is going to be much more difficult for people to so-called buy and sell, right? So for people who are really going for the 10-year housing, right, like the most recent one, I think is Tanglin Hawk, right? The application rate, as you can see, is not very high, right? People are aware that if, let's say today I'm age, for example, 35, right, by going for the PLH housing, right, I will need to wait 4 years for the constructions to be done, plus another 10 years of MOP. So by then, I am already 49 years old before I will be able to do my next round of upgrading. So this is something that I will have to think carefully whether I will want to go to this approach. And some people, they don't mind, because let's say they would they are planning for themselves that they don't mind staying in that particular area for the next 10 years of their life, then yes, they would be able to go ahead. But personally, for myself, I have been encouraging people is that try as much as possible not to go for the 10 years PLH, the prime flat and the plus flat. Reason being is that the 10 years, right, is actually a very long time. Even 5 years, a lot of my clients, they've been talking, right, they are saying that 5 years is already very long, and now you are going for a BTO flat that is going to stuck yourself for 10 years. That's going to be something that is personally I feel is quite unfavorable, so to speak, right? And we are going to see another piece of news, another cycling bridge connecting from the Kallang River, right? For those people who are staying around the vicinity, like Boon Keng area, Potong Pasir, congratulations to you, because there is going to be a very nice cycling bridge connecting point, right? From I'm looking at the road. Kallang is along the St. Andrew Junior College, right? I think it's going to be cutting over the existing highway and then linking up to the southern part, which is on the Matoma Road, right? Something that I think I look at the artist's impression, right, is very futuristic. So the government is also trying their best, right, to make sure that they create more cycling path, more seamless for people to get around by way of cycling, right? So okay, user number ending with 6210. The recent Tampines EC land bids, what is the estimated PSF gonna be? Right, so as of now, right, you can see that Altura over at Bukit Batok West, right, they have already achieved an average per square feet of 1474 per square feet. So definitely this plot of land, which is going to be more expensive, I would personally think that it's going to be higher than 1,005 minimally. So averagely, we are looking at maybe 1,500 to 1,550 per square feet. And this is something that to me is wow, because I've been in this industry for 13 years. When the very first time I'm looking at EC, right, they are around that 600, 700 per square feet range. Now, just a matter of 12 years, 13 years, we are looking that the prices has already doubled in terms of the EC. Same thing, like last time when we talk about new projects, right, in the past, people have this mindset that, okay, if I buy something at 1,000, 1,001, it's going to be considered expensive already. But now you see the new project launches over at, for example, the Mies, the Arden, they're all already either exceeded or very close to 2,000 per square feet, which is something that to me is wow, right? So the gist of it, or the moral of the story is, if you want to get into the game, you have to go into the real estate investment as soon as you can. So there's this saying always talking about real estate, right? The best time to buy is 10 years ago, right? And then the next best time is now, right? Of course, within your calculated means, right? So do not overestimate, do not overstretch, do not get yourself stuck into a situation whereby you got so stressed out by the loan, then you find yourself too stressed up, right? Because you have taken up too much debt, right? Alternating John, thank you. What's your view on developer discount? What's the highest you've seen or average? Developer is discount, right, is all marketing gimmick, I would say. Because why? Because they can just say that, oh, I mark up my price at say I'm gonna sell you at 2.1 million, but then they so-called have a list discount of 100,000, then they sell you 2 million. So all this so-called discount, right, is more of like a marketing gimmick to me lah, right? So obviously for agents like us, we have seen many different projects launching at different timing, and we always want to make sure that the developer profit margin does not exceed too high, meaning to say we can look at the tools, or we can look at the news, and we base on some of the estimated per square feet range, right? We know roughly how much the developer is going to be selling at to get a break-even price point. So for example, if let's say the developer break-even cost or break-even price point is at 1,006 per square feet, then you mark up about 20%, that's considered a healthy profit margin. But if let's say they sell way higher than that, and the tricky thing is, if let's say on the first day or the first month launch, right, you see that the units are not performing well, there is a risk that developer will cut price, right? So for example, as early as, for example, Sky Habitat. Sky Habitat is a project that I remember very dearly. The developer first day launch, there is a price drop. Subsequently, the second batch of owners who bought in, they bought at a cheaper price point, so they make a bigger profit margin. Likewise, another project is Panorama at Ang Mo Kio. You can also check out the first batch owners versus the second batch owners. Subsequently, the sales price was not performing very well. There is also another price drop. Then that is where that the second batch of the buyers take advantage of the lower price to enter. And of course, some projects, right, like the what's it called, the one in Bugis, Duo, if you check out the price point, same thing as well. The first launch and the subsequent launch, some of them, because the government trying to clear away the units, right, they were selling at a very low price. So all these projects, right, if let's say their margin is extremely high, there is a risk that the government will, the project will drop price subsequently if the initial sales is not good. So the tricky part is about, we have to make sure that the projects that we are entering, right, is something that is, you know that the developer has a strong holding power. They won't anyhow drop price to affect you, right? That's something that I would suggest to pay attention to, right? The most recent, recent case study is also Affinity. Affinity also same thing happening. The first batch of owners and the second batch of owners, they got a very different price point altogether, right? So it really depends on the developer profit margin. It really depends on how much or whether is it a strong holding power developer that won't anyhow cut price or drop price that affect the first batch of the buyers. So we call this like protecting the price protecting price integrity. Yeah, Haze is here. Very bad. Thoughts on One Burnham. One Burnham, interestingly, because now, if you look at it in this manner, One Burnham is a project, right, whereby it is in the District 1, District 2 area, CBD, right? It's very strong in rental, but it's slower in terms of capital upside. So if let's say you're considering to buy into One Burnham, I would suggest that you do not attempt to flip for profit so early, because I don't think the price jump is going to be very significant when it TOP. It's something that you will need to hold to collect rental, then subsequently sell it off at the later timing, right? Similar to TMW that I went to see last month. Yeah, precisely. So, okay, now you brought up this project called TMW, right? Interestingly, if you look at the newspaper, the thing is that, oh, thanks for this cap. The thing is that, right, the TMW, right, that I read it in the article, it was saying that that piece of land the developer bought, right, is based on the commercial title. So that means to say they are not affected by the 5-year MOP deadline, which means to say, right, even developer cannot sell it off within the 5-year deadline, right, there is no penalty. This is something that I read from the news. So that's why you see, even as of now, I think till date only 6 or 7 units being sold at TMW. I think it's a crazily high price at 3,001, 3,002, right? But of course, high, there's always higher high next time lah, right? As of now, 3,001, 3,002 in District 1 area, Maxwell, I think there is resistance in terms of price lah. Buyer also feel a bit, too much to enter, right? So obviously this kind of project will help the existing projects nearby to sell, right? Existing projects like One Burnham, obviously you still can get at 2000 plus, 2007, 2008 plus per square feet, right? In comparison, it is a very interesting product to look at. 8 River Suite seems to be on the lowest per square feet in RC. Any reason why? 8 River Suite, that at that point of time, right, interestingly, the developer bought the land at a very good land cost. That means they bought it on the cheaper side. And when it goes into the resale market, it is depending on how much the owners over there is going to be pricing at. So if you look at the resale market right now, a lot of the owners, especially the bigger bedroom types, right, 3 bedroom, 4 bedroom, they are sitting on a very good capital upside. Because if you look at Boon Keng MRT as an example, within 500 meter of Boon Keng, there is not much condos that you can really choose from. And further on the southern side of Boon Keng area, right, there is some commercial building, industrial building over there. But over time, it's going to be changed, whereby there's going to be more residential elements going to be introduced in this area. So 8 River Suites, good for the first batch of owners who bought in earlier, right? I am thinking that those people who bought in earlier, they are sitting on a very good capital upside really, right? But if you look at the resale market, 8 River Suite is in the area whereby there's still not much of a big injection of vibrancy happening yet. So there could be even more potential upside. There's one project, X Euro Asia apartment. It's en bloc. There's going to be launching very soon. It's called, I think the name has already been confirmed. It's called the Arcadi. I don't know how to pronounce that. So that one is going to be launching soon. That one is a smaller plot of project. Freehold, apartment status, X Euro Asia Mansion or Euro Mansion apartment. I can't remember the name. So that one is going to be launching soon. That is the only upcoming, I think the rare few upcoming RCR supply in the new project right now. Why Far East so quiet? Far East? Not really. I think their reserve still moving well. I think a lot of Far East projects still doing very, very well. So Far East, you talking about the shopping mall, is it? Maybe you let me know. Far East quiet means which one? Far East Plaza? Far East Tower? Far East got a lot of projects, a lot of buildings. Rupert, what do you think subsale for Park Clementes? Park Clementes, subsale, if you can buy in, just pay attention to the per square feet price. The area is more of a family stay product, so try to avoid buying the 1 bedder and the 2 bed 1 bath. Okay, if you're buying for yourself to own stay, then just work out your budget. Just go for the biggest possible as you can in that area. Okay, Park Clementes, within 1 click of the good school, so family profile will be more preferred. If let's say you're going in as your first property or second property, then just pay attention on the entry price, pay attention on the unit layout type. If need be, we can do in-depth analysis together. Like and follow, PM me if you need help, right? Blooper 803. Okay, so this area is more suitable for family stay, right? So if you have the budget, go for the biggest possible bedroom type, 4 bedroom, 3 bedroom plus yard if possible, because this area is all the family stay profile, right? Clementi is an area that is very high density. What I mean by high density is that if you look at the map, just look at the area over there. There is a very high population density in that area. We don't compare the West Coast side lah. West Coast side is after the highway. I don't count that side as a Clementi area. But if you look at just within 500 meter radius of MRT area of MRT station, right, you see all the flats over there, right? A lot of the newer BTOs are easily over 30-story high, which means to say there is a very strong concentration of population over there. And interestingly to know, right, a lot of the income or a lot of the median household income over there, right, is quite good one. So they are I will classify them as the mass affluent. even the nearby project like Claremont Canopy, you look at the resale is very vibrant. It's doing quite well. So if let's say you are considering to buy a subsale unit in Park Clementes, then just pay attention on the performance of Claremont Canopy. You can roughly see a pattern over there in terms of what people are going for. One more project is called Triling. Triling, you can use it as an example as well. So it really depends on which so-called unit type that you are going for. Right? Wow, thanks for the gift. Thanks for the gift. Thanks, boss. Who are the 6 buyers for T? I also don't know that. I think people who has the foresight. So people who really want to believe in this particular project. Maybe they like how the developer designed the flip and switch. I read on the newspaper article, it's quite interesting. The way they do it is almost like if you're an investor today, you buy into the studio unit, right? It's almost like all the renovation has already been done up for you. So basically it's like it's so-called like a plug and play lah. But I think personally I feel that project feels a bit like a modern co-living kind of project lah. So if you have seen TMW Maxwell, if you know of anyone who bought TMW Maxwell, let me know. I also want to know why they buy over there. But that is quite an interesting project lah, because the rental you I calculated for the studio is still quite decent. So for even they buy that entry price of 3,001, 3,002, I think if you are holding it for long term for rental, it is still a decent investment, so to speak lah. But it takes time for this project to sell, because you wait for more vibrancy being injected into the area, wait for more government announcement in terms of the CBD renewal, then we may see more uptake in terms of the existing project as well as the TMW Maxwell. The current projects over there selling, right, there are a few, like for example One Burnham, I think they're still having some sales ongoing. Further downward, I think if you count like One Per Bank, Landmark, I think they still have units over there. So it takes time for every time there is a new project launch in that vicinity, right? It will cause a ripple effect to the existing project, because we have to understand the new project is always at the highest price point, right? So when there is comparison, then people will say, hey, if let's say this one already selling at 3,001, 3,002 per square feet, might as well I compare this one, or might as well I choose this one. So there will be a flow over effect, so to speak, right? Miss Betty, for co-broke REA share with LL agent, if no renewal, need real estate agent, you mean? Real estate agent help when Miss Betty, this one I cannot answer you over here. Please check with the agent that helped you with this deal, because I do not know the background, I do not know the context. So sorry, I cannot give a yes or no straightforward answer. Please check back with your agent that was helping you, right? In terms of new launches, haven't seen them in action, never beat GLS. Far East have a lot of land bank, Far East is a very strong, reputable company. If some of you have agents friends, you ask them, they have their in-house sales people also. They will send us a list of their existing projects. Some of these projects, right, they launched it years and years ago, right, and they are still holding it. Like for example, Bijo over at the Pasir Panjang MRT, they are still holding some units, and then they rent it out. Some of these units, right, they can't sell it off, they will hold it and then they rent it out for rental income. So they are not aggressively participating in the GLS, probably because they are also focusing their efforts in overseas, and also they have enough assets or enough properties in Singapore for them to make a profit lah, so to speak, right? Even in industrial commercial, they also have a lot of assets over there. So that is Far East for you, right? They have been a multi-generational kind of company, consortium. So their reach is very, very far and wide. So we don't have to worry about them. They don't where to make money. They have lots of assets and properties. What is your view of the future capital appreciation of the 3 condos in West Coast View? Okay, I think you're talking about this Park Rivera, what's that called, Twin View, and then one more is the Whistler Grand. Yes, okay. So the future appreciation of this particular condo, it really depends on one thing very strong is the Jurong CBD future. So if you look at the map, right, actually these three projects is very, very close to the Jurong International Business Park as well as the Jurong CBD area. So they are actually sitting on the development line, or they are sitting on the outskirt of the Jurong CBD area. So their biggest effect will be coming from the transformation of Jurong CBD. Okay, in West Coast region itself, right, interestingly, I have done a couple of rental over at Whistler Grand as well as Twin View. Interestingly, the demand over there in terms of rental is pretty strong, right? Like, for example, we are talking about students from NTU, NUS. We are talking about lecturers who are in these kind of universities, and even some of the medical staff, right? They are also looking at condos over here. So interestingly, if you look at these three projects, if you have been to any one of them, go walk on the ground. If you, let's say you want to visit them, maybe you can just look at some of the listings that is up online for sale or for rent. Then you can just check out how is it like inside. It's very interesting in terms of how the landscaping is done, how the people who are staying over there, and it's not as difficult to commute as people would like to think, because actually just at the side gate behind, right, there's a bus stop which is along the highway. I think it's only like 2 or 3 bus stops away that you can connect yourself to either Clementi MRT or Jurong East MRT, right? So if you have anyone staying in that project, that will be for you a good chance to go down and see how is it really like, right? But if for yourself you are already holding a unit there, then just continue renting it out if you are getting a very good rental income, right? Thanks for the like, thanks for the share, right? BDBAH, but HDB upgraded but priced out of many development. If I buy resale EC in Woodlands, can still appreciate. Which project are you referring to? HDB upgraded, if let's say you do not do any upgrading for the past, just talk about pre-COVID lah, I think a lot of them will be priced out already. Sad to say, no choice, because the price growth of the HDB is always slower in terms of comparison for the price growth of private condo. The simple maths will tell us why lah. Because let's say the overall price growth is 2%, right? 500k 5-room HDB or 4-room HDB, right? A 2% growth is only what, 10,000. But if let's say we're talking about 1 million 1 million condo, right, 2% is 20,000. So in terms of absolute quantum, right, you will be slowly priced out along the way lah. That's how it is. I always believe that the government, right, they are always trying to make sure that HDB is affordable to the masses. So they, no matter what, they have to introduce policies, right, to keep the price in check, which means to say they are motivated to keep public housing as affordable to as many people as possible. That is the main political motivation of the government. For private market, they will have to let a more looser control. They will have to let them to have more free play. So no choice. After COVID, you can see that the private property market really shoot up very fast, very high. Whereas the HDB market, yes, it also shoot up, but it is not as crazy as the private market. So if let's say you're buying a resale EC in Woodlands, I want to ask you which one. If you want to buy the older ones, then maybe you need to see and analyze carefully whether is it in terms of your time horizon, in terms of your affordability, is there any other better options based on what you can afford. So can you don't stay in Woodlands, maybe you want to explore other areas. There's a lot of possibility, right? So I'm not sure what you're talking about. One Burnham selling at 1 point, but nearby Spottiswoode freehold. Yeah, correct. Alternating John. Yeah, you see, this is the topic about 99 years versus freehold. So this is always being talked about many times. Right, Spottiswoode residents, right, if you look at the performance of that freehold project, right, same thing. We have to question ourselves, how come some of these comparable nearby freehold projects don't perform as well as we expect it to be, then you have to understand the mindset of these freehold project buyers. Let me share with you, like for example, today I'm a buyer who buy freehold property, right? The mindset is that I am in it for a long term because I feel that I will not be affected by the 99 years leasehold kind of depreciation working against me. So my mindset is that, okay, I can hold it for long. So same thing, the freehold owners, right, they have already paid a premium for the freehold status. Next time when they sell, they also want to sell at a higher price point, which then boils down to this keyword called affordability, which means to say the next person buying the freehold project from them, right, can they afford to pay the premium for it or not? And don't forget that in terms of rental yield, usually we see that the freehold project, everything else the same, right? The freehold project, the rental yield is slightly lower as compared to the 99 years. Reason being is that for tenants, right, they look at the project, they don't care it's freehold or 99 years. As long as it can able to check their requirements, they are happy to rent it. So for example, side by side project, everything else the same, you pay 20% premium for the freehold status. If let's say my 99 years, I only pay 1 million, your freehold you pay 1.2 million. The same tenant comes to me, I am able to offer him 3,000. The same tenant comes to you, you say, hey, I freehold, but the tenant say, hey, I don't care, I just want a place to stay. So maybe you can force him to pay additional 100 more, 3,001, but the rental yield is still lower as compared to the 99 years. So you can see most of the freehold projects out there, especially the smaller project, their price is slower, their price appreciation is slower because there is lesser transaction volume over there is lesser buyers and sellers happening in that market. Then we will see that the price appreciation is lesser. So unlike stock market, right, property is something very interesting about human behavior. Today, if I go and look at the resale project, right, nowadays the data is so transparent and all that, I want to check what is the recent transaction done. For example, I go to a freehold project, the recent transaction done is only 1,006 per square feet. The seller is asking at 1,008 per square feet. I also feel fearful of entering. The past done is only 1,006 per square feet. I buy at 1,008 per square feet. A bit crazy that I'm not sure whether I want to go in and buy or not. So that's something that you have to really think about. So if you think about this manner, right, One Burnham versus Spottiswoode residence, you look at the location in terms of walkable distance to MRT station, right, and how well located it is within the CBD area, right? You see, One Burnham, the location is actually better compared to Spottiswoode residence, right? Aside from the freehold status, you also can compare in terms of the age, right? Spottiswoode residence is already how old versus One Burnham, which is still undergoing construction. So there are a lot of factors in play that we really need to sit down and analyze why these projects are priced in this manner, right? Okay. What is the sorry, user ending with 5282. The least decay is less or constant property less concern. I won't say less concern. I would still say yes, there is still a least concern, least decay concern because of the Ballast curve, right? I think nowadays people are getting more and more exposed and educated. So Ballast curve is something about the curve. If you have not seen the graph before, the 99 years will slowly drop over time, right? So for people who are holding on to private condo, right, they are also worried about the least decay. That's why en bloc happens. Like for example, the most recent ones that happens, right, is all the en bloc cycle that eventually was being sold. Like you can take a look at Chuan Park, the Yuan Ching Road one, Lakeside Tower, Lakeside Apartment. All these are the en bloc because the owners themselves also know. If let's say today I am sitting on a 99-year lease condo, right, and then if I don't do anything now, my value is going to drop slowly but surely. So before that drop happens, then at the same time, if let's say I don't like staying in my building anymore, if there is motivation for me to sell, then some of them they may be enticed by the offer that is being made by the developer to sell it off. But the tricky part is that if let's say today I'm staying in an old HDB flat, for example, I stay in a HDB flat that is built in the 70s, right? the control is not in my hand because I have no choice but to wait for the government, right? You can see like some of the areas in say for example MacPherson, Toa Payoh, Ang Mo Kio, some of these flats, right, they're built in the 70s, right? And there's no news, totally no news, right? And the famous East Coast one, Marine Terrace, the site, some of these flats are very old already, but totally no news from the government. So the price will start to really dip when it is approaching the 30-year-old mark. That means the balance lease is less than 30-year-old, right? They was the next buyers that come in, right, they'll be affected by CPF restriction, they'll be affected by loan restriction, and that's where the people will start to feel the time bomb effect really. If they don't do anything, then they will be stuck with a depreciating asset. Then at the point of time, the person that is able to buy from them, right, they will need to pay in terms of almost full cash kind of scenario already, right? So that's something that not many people is aware of lah. So if you're buying into an old HDB, does not mean that you cannot buy, but just be careful of the lease. For example, you just want to buy at the point of your life stage, right? You just want to settle a house, to for example get married or other kind of thing, right? Then just make sure that you buy, 5 years later you quickly get out. Quickly get out in the sense whereby save up more, then either you go and buy a resale condo or you go and buy a newer HDB flat, right? So that you don't have to suffer the lease decay that is surely going to be happening soon, right? So that is how I would advise my clients. Usually a lot of people, they are exploring like the older flats, right? It's more of because of affordability issue. Like for example, they are first timer, they want a centrally located flat, but yet their budget is not high enough, right? Then no choice, they have to look at some of these older flats for their consideration. But the same thing I always tell them, hey, you buy this one 5 years later or whichever lah. Sometimes they buy for their children to go through the primary school. So 6 years later, after your kid is done with the primary school, right, faster sell it off and get out of that property lah. Don't get yourself stuck with an old flat. Then you will be suffering the fate of a decaying lease, right? Is Blossom by the Park considered a small project and a long walk to Buona Vista? Not really. If you look at the map, right, for Blossom by the Park, it is actually they are opening a side gate right beside the park. I have actually studied this project before, and I've also involved with the sale over there. If you look at Blossom by the Park, right, there is they call this the One North Park lah. The One North Park is connecting from Rochester Mall all the way downwards, right, all the way to the Razer HQ, that building. So they are opening a side gate over there, right, whereby you can take a stroll, not really a long walk lah. You take a stroll, cut through the park. That's where you will reach the MOE headquarters. Then that is where you will reach exit D of Buona Vista MRT. Okay, so it's not really a long walk lah, if you ask me, right? Small project, okay, definition of a small project, I would say is like less than 100 units, less than 80 units, then yes, I'll consider a small project. For Blossom by the Park, I would say is more towards a mid-size kind of project whereby still decent. You see, like some of the projects, right, that I've came across, if you go into their development, you see that there's only a very small pool, then there's only a very small gym, then definitely it's a small project lah. Because small project, usually the facility is not very attractive, not comprehensive, right? Then it's not going to be attracting tenants to come in. If let's say tenants are not attracted to come in, then the renter also will support the sales price as well. Kiki lah, can. If you want a HDB question, please feel free to type as well. Please comment. Please feel free to ask anything about property, right? Does spending a lot of money to renovate old HDB as what many do now help with that? I don't think so. Okay. The reason being is that, okay, today how the valuation works, right? If you look at, like, for example, recently I also came across one old flat in Ang Mo Kio. The owner renovated it very nice 5 years ago. So the renovation is very nicely done up. But when the valuer come, right, they were also based on what is the recent transactions done nearby. So for example, all the I just giving you a scenario, all the 4-room flat nearby, right, they're selling at 450 to 480,000 range. So the valuation cannot differ too far off from there. So if let's say the owner is asking at 520,000, but the valuation is only max able to match at, say for example, 490k, then you will have 30k COV. So you spend a lot of money, right, to renovate the old HDB. It does not really help in terms of the HDB valuation, because the HDB valuer will also come and take a look at about what is the recent transaction done in that vicinity area as a basis point of comparison. So if you really want to do renovation, because it's for your own stay, right? If you really want to do renovation, just do the basic one. Basic one meaning to say, don't overspend, like you throw in 100,000, 80,000, or even some I heard 150,000 to renovate up the whole HDB, right? Then it's going to be challenging when next time, like for example 5 years later when you sell, because what you like may be different from what other people like. For example, the renovation design that you have, maybe it's very colorful, right? Then it's going to be challenging for the next person to accept it, right? Then to you it's nice, it's value add to the house, but to them, they have to spend additional, right, to tear away your renovation to build their own renovation, right? Rod, can you explain the meaning of forced savings by buying property? Okay, so the forced saving concept, right, or the so-called forced saving that people always talk about, right, is that today, if let's say I'm very happily staying in a 5-room HDB, 600,000, at the end of my retirement age, like say when I'm 55 years old, how much my HDB is going to be appreciate? Say maybe appreciate 800,000, right? So at most by the age of 55 years old, I got a fully paid 800,000 5-room flat. If I want to downgrade to a full 3-room flat, maybe at the point of time the 3-room flat is 350,000, then my so-called profit I can get out of it is 800 minus 350 is 450, right? So forced saving, right, is talking about people buying into a bigger property, and then instead of the money, right, spent on, whenever we got money, we will spend it on holiday, fancy stuff, that kind of thing. But the thing is that if let's say today you are your commitment to a higher value property, right, is at 3,000 plus, 4,000 plus, a component of it is actually paying to the bank, a component of it is paying to your own property. So that component, right, the principal, right, is paying to yourself. So that is the forced savings into your property. So for example, let's say I buy a 1 million property, I'm paying say 3,000 per month in terms of the monthly installment. About 60% will be the interest for the first maybe 10 years, 5 to 10 years. Then the 40% is going to be principal. If you want to know at the exact numbers, right, there's this thing called the amortization table, right? Then you can go and Google it. You see, you plot, you key in the numbers, how long of the bank loan that you're looking at. Then you look at the principal amount. The principal amount is actually your own money, but you just put it into the property first, right? So this thing is a concept of forced saving. That means $3,000, 1,000 you pay to the bank, 2,000 you are forcing yourself to pay into the property. That means it goes to the principal amount of paying off your property, right? Is there any real need for COV in resale market for seller to pay seller I don't really get a question. Okay, you're saying that buyer to pay COV, is it? There are some units in the market right now that is still having COV, so it really depends on the market segment you are looking at. So some areas, hot areas, there are still COV payable in today's market. Yeah, you'll be surprised. Some units are still commanding a premium. What do you think of ABSD? I don't want to sell my BTO after MOP. Depends on your time horizon. Okay, assume you are Singaporean. If let's say you're Singaporean, you're paying 20% for your second property, right? First thing first, a lot of people, they don't know that if I'm buying my second property, right, there are a few conditions that I have to fulfill first. First thing first, I need to make sure that my existing HDB is fully paid. Okay, that's point number one. Point number two, I am okay to pay ABSD at 20% additional to government, right? So if you're buying this second condo as an investment purpose, right, we just talk about, for example, yearly you can get 3% rental yield. 20% divided by 3, that is 5 years, 6 years, or 7 years. So you need a longer runway, right, to cover your ABSD. If let's say you're talking about buying for investment, right? So it doesn't mean that paying ABSD is stupid or what, but it just depends on your timeline, your horizon, your risk appetite. Paying ABSD, some people they just say, oh, then no problem. Anyway, I'm gonna hold this unit for long term. Then I don't mind paying the ABSD. Anyway, I'm just going to rent it out all the way. I don't intend to sell, right? The tax is being taxed upfront first in Singapore context. Some tax is happening at the behind. That means to say, when you sell, then you need to pay penalty in terms of capital gain tax, right? So some countries they practice capital gain tax, but Singapore don't have. But what Singapore do is they tax you upfront first. You buy a 1 million property, you pay 200,000 entry ticket. Yeah, you want to participate in the real estate investment game, right? Okay, you pay an entry fee of 20% first. You want to own it, you want to own second property, right? Then you pay an entry fee of 20%. At the If you hold it for 10 years, 15 years, when you sell, then okay, no capital gain tax. As of now, right, things may change, policies may change, but as of now, there is no capital gain tax. In other country, like for example, overseas country, I buy, there is no ABSD, there's no entry fee tax. But when I sell, then they have a 20% capital gain tax. Then the 20% capital gain tax is based on the higher selling price next time. So some people, they don't sell, they just hold it. So it really depends on how you perceive this ABSD. To me, obviously, I will always want to help my client as much as possible. Try projects, right? Welcome. Small freehold project, same thing. If let's say you want to buy for own stay, small freehold project has its own pros and cons. Most of these small freehold projects, right, they are more quiet, more exclusive. You are just staying with only very few neighbors. Most of the time, you know your neighbors lah. Like for example, only 26 units, right? Then you are one of the 26. Obviously, you know all your neighbors lah. Who park the bicycle over there? Whose car is that? So you have a very nice kampong spirit going on lah. So if you like that kind of living, then why not, right? And then if you intend to stay for long, if you stay for like 15, 20 years, no issue. Then you just hold it lah. Freehold project small. If you don't really care about facilities, and then you want to pay lesser maintenance fee, then go for it if you're buying for own stay. But if you're thinking of investment, you're thinking of huge capital upside, then you may want to explore other options, right? Okay, this is just based on my take lah. So we see a lot of small freehold projects, right? You need a longer runway before you can see a very good capital upside, right? So you can't possibly think of like, I buy already 3 years, 5 years, I sell, I make a profit, I move on to the next project. Very not ideal lah, not that possible. Hey, hello Hong Yun, hello. Okay, well, how many comments more? I see whether for saving point, so it's wise to pay a lump sum of mortgage when can to reduce. Okay, interestingly, my personal opinion in terms of debt, all right, in terms of loan, this is something that I want to highlight. The following statement that I say is based on my own opinion of the market. You may want to choose to seek another approach to it, but my take is that because we are operating in an inflationary environment, as long as we are operating in an inflationary environment, right, my take is I will always want to take the biggest loan possible, and then I would drag the longest tenure possible. This is my own opinion, right? The reason being is that only property, the banks are willing to loan you such a big amount of money using your property as a collateral. And then I always say that if let's say I can drag a 1 million loan for 25 years, let's say my monthly installment is $3,000, I will say that the $3,000 that I pay today, right, is different from the $3,000 that I pay 25 years later. Likewise, I always ask this question back to people. 10 years ago, how much can you buy with $50, right? Versus 10 years now, how much can you buy at $50? Just look at our most simple staple food. I use chicken rice, staple food chicken rice. Chicken rice, when I was very, very young, I still remember still got $2 chicken rice. But now double already, or even, in fact even more. So you're talking about chicken rice at least like $4.50, $5 food court, right? So if let's say 10 years ago, I take a $1 million loan, right? Yes, I'm paying 3,000 per month, but 20 years later, the 3,000 per month, right, does not seem that big anymore. The money string, money source, the money string. So this is my take, but of course, interest rate is high right now. It's 3%. This is only temporary, which I think that as long as we are operating in the inflationary environment, my opinion is to take the biggest debt possible and drag the longest time possible. But again, caveat, I just don't want people to go and misquote me or use my words. Please make sure that you are able to service your loan properly. You have the healthy cash flow so that you don't get yourself stuck. And of course, playing with leverage or rather taking up huge debt, right? It doesn't mean that you overspend in your other side of lifestyle. Like for example, some people say, oh, I got 1 million cash, but John tell me to take a bigger loan, right? So I don't pay 1 million cash to my property. I take up full loan. Then my property is all mostly funded by loan. I got the 1 million cash on hand, right? Then anyhow spend. That obviously is not a wise move lah. Then you have to use your money properly, put it into proper investment, make sure that you don't go to the wrong spending, that kind of thing. So this is a bit of a wealth planning already. So this is my point of view lah. About taking up mortgage, right? Right sizing after 55. Retirement account fulfills full retirement sum. Ordinary a refund after sales can withdraw. Yes, correct, can. So okay, it depending on your birth. This morning another associate of mine also asked me this question lah. So if you are 55 years, you have to check the CPF website. There is a table. It based on the year that you turn 55. Then you check. Now they changed the term already. They call it basic retirement sum, full retirement sum, and enhanced retirement sum. So you need to check carefully. So after 55 years old, as long as you fulfill your basic retirement sum, the extra one, right, the excess one, right, you can use it for housing. And then of course, if you have achieved the full retirement sum, the excess one, you can withdraw it out in terms of cash. So it really depends on your birth date lah, which year you turn 55 years old. Then you have to check at CPF website what is the excess that you can withdraw, right? So right, thanks for the follow, right? So if you have not done so, please follow me. I will try to do my live every Tuesday night if possible. You dentist. I'm not dentist, Peter. I got CPF on them. I don't know what you're talking about. Yeah, anyway, so this is what's happening in the real estate market. I think I've come to the end of the comment, right? Hello 1244. I got a BTO at Bidadari. How much can I sell after MOP? 4-room flat. Bidadari, new estate lah. Ule area 700,000 at least lah. I'm talking about, right? So I'm not sure exactly which project is yours but the first few batch, I think even more, 800,000, 900,000. First few batch of people who buy the Bidadari, right, is quite a low price. So congratulations to you for being able to get a Bidadari flat. Now with the new classification, right, easily we are talking about is this area is going to be considered the plus area, plus or prime, because Bidadari, some of the HDB is very near to Ule MRT. So Ule MRT, the area there is also going to be a bus interchange coming up, right? So congratulations to you, right? So next time if you want to sell, can find me also. Thank you very much. Vincent, how about North Shore? Punggol North Shore. I've been to one of the unit before. Has a very nice sea view, right? So this Punggol North Shore is very interesting. I think as of now, if you go there, there is not much amenities going on. So living over there can be a little bit out of the place for people who are staying over there. Of course, it has a very nice vibe lah. The jogging track, the big playground, park, and all that. Punggol North is going to be operating very soon, so there's going to be a extension of a MRT going towards Punggol North. So that will definitely help that that amenities that nearby boosting up in terms of prices as well, right? So congratulations to you, Vincent, if you have got North Shore unit, right? Hi boss. Okay, what else? Right sizing after 75 to HDB without loan requires. Okay. Now the HDB has changed its process, right? As long as you're buying a resale HDB, no matter what, you still need to do the HFE, right? Doesn't mean that you are paying full cash, you don't need to do HFE. The government, I mean HDB lah, HDB has created this new procedure. It's like a passport, right? You don't have passport, you cannot fly. So same concept. You don't have HFE, you cannot buy resale HDB, or you cannot buy HDB at all. No choice. It is a process. So government is implementing this new procedure to make sure that everyone complete the HFE first. Even you don't take loan, even you don't use CPF, even you pay full cash, no other way. You still need to complete this HFE. It's like a passport before you fly. No choice, right? Bidadari 3-room probably not so much. I'm not too sure. I never checked the exact price, but you can use comparison of, like, for example, Potong Pasir, Boon Keng, Toa Payoh. You can use some of these estate as a price comparison. But obviously Bidadari is a new township lah, so the people over there, I think for sure lah, some of the units is going to hit 1 million over there. 3-room maybe 700k plus, there about 3-room resale, right? Clementi going to TOP condo, 2 rooms. What is the good price to? What is the best to start selling, right? Gypsy SG, Clementi going to TOP condo. Park Clementi you're referring to? 2-bedroom, what is the good price to sell? Depends on the unit type. I need more details from you. And when is best to start selling? Obviously, as soon as possible. It really depends on your plan as well lah. So, after selling, what are you going to buy? What is your plan? What is your objective? I always like to ask people lah. What is your next thing to look forward to? If let's say you have no idea what to do with the property, you have no idea what is your next option, then sometimes don't sell is a good option also. Just rent it out, collect rental income. Now the rental market is still good, right? Then rent it out, collect rental income first, right? So depends on your objective, depends on your factors lah. Age, income, what is your next planning? Are you going to do another round of wealth building again? If yes, then you have to look at some of the other opportunities elsewhere, right? Hi, what is the best exit point to sell a newly MOP private condo? Newly TOP condo lah, you're referring to, right? Another guy asking. Now this year is bumper crop. This year has a lot of bumper crop of condo coming up into the market. This year I think we have many mega projects collecting keys. Affinity, Riverfront, Avenue South, Jetscape, Normanton Park. Wow, all the mega projects, 1,000 over units, right? Now you're in a situation whereby you rent it out, you're also competing with the people who are renting out. You are selling, you're also competing with the people who are selling. So it depends on your objective. For the comments, I think there's few repeated questions. People who have gotten their keys for condo. So you have to assess. Unit type is also a factor. What is your next objective that you want to buy? What is your nearest competitor? Is there any upcoming supply in your near vicinity for competition? Normanton Park is an interesting project because only Normanton Park nearby has completed project. But if you see the whole of District 19, it's like really too many supply all coming at the same time lah. So Affinity, Florence, Riverfront, all within District 19. So people who are renting over there, especially landlord lah. If you are a landlord over there, your rental unit is coming up, please be price sensitive lah, right? Because tenants now, they have many choices, especially they're comparing new, they're comparing old, they're comparing not so old, not so new. So there are a lot of options for them to compare around, right? With the changing demographic, what housing trend do you foresee for the next 10 years? Wow, next 10 years, we are seeing more singles formation of coming, affluent singles, affluent elderlies, right? So we are also an aging population, but don't forget that there are some old people that are very rich also, right? So affluent seniors, they will be also affecting how the housing market is going to be at. Affluent singles, a lot of people, they don't want to get married, right? So these people, they have money, they would want to do something for themselves, they don't want to stay with their parents, right? Then our shrinking household, that means the average unit size would probably going towards more of a 3 bedroom kind of there about the unit size of about 900 square feet there about. So next 10 years, because you see the policies in Singapore, right, is also quite interesting because it forces us, as in Singaporeans, to plan carefully how we want to own the property. Because you see, if let's say today, I myself, own one condo, my wife, I already own one condo, then the next logical thing is to see how we can upsize the condo, right? So that there will always come to a point whereby maybe we start one bedroom each. Then slowly we grow 2 bedroom. Then slowly we go 3 bedroom, something like this. So it's gonna be stepping up whereby people are going to aim for a bigger house to own or bigger asset to own, because we only have that one name. Then we have to make use of it properly. So sometimes some people say, just buy a huge landed and then just stay for the next 10 years and forget about it. It's not a bad strategy also. That's what some people are doing now as well. So the COVID has also affected how human behave, because suddenly we want more space within our house, right? Additional space for the kids to study, additional space for work from home and all this. So it has already somewhat becomes like a semi-hybrid kind of model whereby people will also want to have a little space for themselves, right? Either for themselves to work from home or either for their little ones at home for study purpose, right? Cheaper, I don't know what you're talking about. Cheaper than cup coffee. Oh, sorry. Very hi, my new BTO Punggol Point Cove is coming. Waited 7 years. What's your view? You're talking about MOP, is it? If you're talking about MOP, then see you want to upgrade to a resale condo. This HDB, right? Punggol Point BTO, yeah, HDB. So you've waited 7 years, you want to upgrade to a resale condo? If yes, then can explore. Depends on your family needs. If you want change location, you want to live nearer toward town. So I always share people concept lah. Concept, this is just concept sharing. Most people, when they reach the point where they can sell their house, right, they only think of these few things lah. Either they keep the existing one, they buy one more. So this is option one, keep one, buy one. Right, then option two, they sell one, they see whether both husband and wife can own one each or not. So this last time what they call the sell one buy two lah. So option two, keep sell one buy two. Then option three, they sell their small one, they buy a bigger one. So they will call this sell small buy big lah. Then option four, I would say is sell far buy near. Near as in nearer towards town lah. So obviously you only have four options to choose from, right? Option number one, keep one, sell one, buy one. Option number one, keep one, buy one. Then option number two, sell one, buy two. Now getting harder and harder lah because of the affordability issue. Then option number three, sell small, buy big, right? Then option number four, sell far, buy nearer to town lah. So it depends on the objective lor. What motivate you to make the shift, right? So like and share, follow, so that next time I go live, you'll be notified. I'll try to do my live every Tuesday night, right, after all my activities. Boomer Baker, 2.5 mil cash, no income, already have EC, but have another name, can buy. Any advice for investment? 2.5 mil, just a quick on top of my mind, 2.5 mil, maybe you can look at, I don't know whether reserve residences still have or not. Go for the 3-bedder if you can. three-bedder, hotspot property, I have a framework to select properties, right? So I have a framework, I have a criteria, I have a parameter to search and analyze property. So if let's say you have a 2.5 mil cash, you want to go and buy another property, then the other name has income or not. If the other name has income, just now I mentioned earlier, I would want to use leverage lah. I don't like to use 2.5 mil full down because I think it's a bit not so wise to not to take leverage. If you can take leverage, then slowly pay lah, right? Clairvon actually low level. Clairvon SSD only haven't TOP yet, right? Clairvon I also sold 2 units over there. Clairvon, some of the units, they are low level facing highway. Then you have to see whether how close it is to highway lah. If it's very close to highway, then try to sell it before TOP lah. Because when TOP, people can see how close it is to the highway, then maybe it is not helpful for you lah, not so favorable for you, right? If let's say your Clairvon is a higher floor, face pool or better facing one, then wait for TOP. I think you should be able to get a better price point. SSD, I think not yet, right? I think Clairvon haven't 3 years yet because I sold one at the first day. The client also looking to sell it off on the 3rd year mark, but I remember I just helped him. I met up with him quite recently. The SSD has not reached yet lah. So yeah, hang on a little bit lor. Hang on a little bit. Looking to write to HDB to buy resale 5-room at Tiong Bahru. Because for your own stay, family planning, is it, Gypsy? You can try writing to HDB first lah. Then you can try to seek help from MP. Of course, they will want to know why lah. This 15 months wait out period is something that is affecting a lot of people lah. So no choice. So I also helped one guy. He bought a Yishun HDB private. Then he successfully got the appeal done, right? Whereby the HDB granted him to let him buy a resale HDB. But there are some conditions like for example, he cannot qualify for the grant, he cannot take HDB loan. So there are some conditions for him to buy the resale HDB. So that guy was a successful case that I did to successfully appeal to buy a HDB with after selling the private. But very rare lah. I just want to tell you first, very rare that this can be done. But try lah. You never try, you never know. If it's for genuine reason, then the chances of it happening may be there. What do you think of Gem Residences for investment for long rental? Okay, so for Gem Residences, right, this is a project that is near Braddell MRT. There's another project that's going to be launching soon. Not launching soon, I think it's under the GRS. There's going to be bidded very soon. I think the price is not yet out lah. The final bidding price is not yet out. I'm expecting there's going to be very high competition for this piece of land because for the past many years, Toa Payoh rather don't have a condo coming up already. So for Gem Residences, if you're talking about long-term rental, you're buying which type? 1 bedroom, 2 bedroom, 3 bedroom. If let's say you're buying the 3 bedroom over there, I think rental is gonna be very attractive because same thing for Toa Payoh, there's a lot of family stay profile lah. Family stay profile, if you're talking about 3 bedroom, I think the rental there is going to be very decent. 1 bedroom over there, from my understanding, is that the supply is very low as well. So the 1 bedder over there, interestingly, the rental demand is also very high. So, but the thing is that for outskirt area or not say outskirt area lah, for areas that is more appealing to families, right? You see that the capital upside for 1 bedder is not as strong. So Toa Payoh is an area that is more like a heartland kind of area. So if you take a look at the capital appreciation for the 1 bedder over there, I think last time when they bought the 1 bedder, maybe at Gem Residences, they buy it at about 680k there, about to low 700k, maybe 710, 720. Then now 201415, I think now 2023, some of the resale, the units over there, maybe they transact 800 plus, 900 plus. So the capital upside for the 1 bedder maybe is not as strong, but for rental purpose is there lah. The rental yield is not bad, right? For right sizing. 5-year-old and above. 4 room and below. Don't need. Okay, Rod. If you are you need to make sure that both yourself and your wife or yourself and your spouse is above 55 years old, Singapore citizen, then you don't have to you don't have the 15-month wait out period being applied to you, right? As long as you buy a 4 room HDB and below. And that is the reason why now we are seeing some of these 4 room HDB in the prime area, right? They are performing quite not bad, because some of these are coming from the affluent seniors. They downgrade from their private condo, then they go and buy a 4 room HDB, then they buy the bigger type one, and either they buy the bigger type 4 room HDB, those 1,000 plus square feet 4 room HDB, or they buy the centrally located 4 room HDB. So yeah, that's what's happening. Clementi, there are very prime 4 room flat also very near to the MRT station. That few blocks always perform very well. So yep, my HDB, not the highway. Very good, congratulations. So low floor face HDB, that means north facing lah. Your one is the Clavon north facing one. Tower block 1 yeah, if I'm not wrong, block 1. Yeah, so SSD not yet up lah, so still a while more to go, right? Zenya, not really familiar with that project. I think it's a freehold, right? Freehold, hopefully I think it's District 14, if I'm not wrong, Zenya. District 14 freehold. If you're buying it, then got to hold it for a longer term, right? Per square feet, I mean the entry price in terms of per square feet is also very attractive. So that's something that you can consider. You also based on the unit type lah. Unit type, entry price, yeah. TOP this that. Oh, is it? I'm not too sure. So fast, Cravon. Yeah, coming soon already. Family planning. Yeah, please help Singapore population. Our birth rate very low. So you can help, do your part to help. Please help. Was there a criteria is successful only can buy 3 or 4? I heard most approve. Depends, really depends, because some people they say, or because you bought a private condo already, then they reject the approval. Because I helped quite a few clients of mine to write in HDB to appeal. Some of them very funny some of them they say, well, you sell away your private condo first, then we talk. Wow, that one quite risky, yeah. So yeah, you can try to write in first, then you get the so-called in principle approval from the HDB, then before you sell off the Clavon. Right, how about Bishan? What do you want to ask about Bishan? Condo, HDB, Hamsha, Hamida. Or you want to ask about the food over there? Bishan very big. Yeah. Thank you for the follow, thank you for the like, thank you for the share. Yeah. Okay, yeah, okay, I think I come to the very end of the comments already. Okay, so yep, Essential Sky and Echelon phones, which one is better? I've been to this both this project before, Essential Sky and the Echelon. Okay, Echelon, right, because the floor plate there is quite big lah. I'm referring to the 3-bedroom over there. So personally, I find Essential Sky more appealing to me. I mean, this is my own personal preference because Echelon, the design, the layout, there is some wasted space here and there lah. So I brought clients to view these two projects before, side by side only so bound to have some comparison. And then the overall design for Essential Sky, of course, some people say is not so modern looking lah. Echelon is like the glass, curtain glass wall, so it's quite nice. So some people they would prefer Echelon lah. So depends on your preference lah. If you're buying for own stay, then depends on what you like lor. Because own stay is individual preference already mah. What I like and what you like is different, right? So just buy what you like. Don't care what I like. Okay, user 10 the deal which wise to sell now or when TOP. Okay, when we talk about new project, right? If let's say your facing is favorable, I will always recommend people to wait TOP ready then sell. The reason is because people like to see, feel and touch, then they will pay a premium, right? So if let's say your SSD is over already, then you sell now, right, is selling on paper. Selling on paper is always not as favorable as compared to selling it when it's ready. That means you can show people the wall, show people the actual wall, show people the actual ceiling, right? Then that is where that people don't mind paying a premium, and they also know that the keys collected already, I can move in already, so there is a certainty over there. So people is willing to pay more for certainty, right? Pay more for assurance. So Verdale, I have some units over there in Hilford. I'm handling some of the rental units over there. So if you just use based on Hilford as an example, you just come out from the main road, it's the bus stop already. So I think it's just about 2 bus stop away you reach Beauty World MRT already. Right, so the area there is quite a nice vibe lah. Interestingly, Beauty World at that side, right, there's a bit of a Korean community ongoing. So you see a lot of Korean BBQ, Korean hotpot, Korean international school happening over there. So the deal, if you have a unit over there, is going to be reaching TOP soon already. Your main entrance, I think, is coming in from the De Souza Avenue, right? Interesting name, yeah. But the bus stop, I think the residents over there is still going to rely, those without car lah, right? Is still going to rely on the bus stop that is along Jalan Jurong Kechil, right? Then from there is 2 or 3 bus stop you reach Beauty Way MRT lah. The area is all landed properties or condo, so private enclave, right? So that's what's happening in that area, right, for the deal. So if you want to sell it off, my suggestion is to wait until TOP lah. Wait for the TOP. Jiao Mama, your name very nice, huh? Is there a chance to waive off the 30-month wait-out period if we just dispose overseas property? You're talking about buying a resale HDB, right? Okay. I'm not sure your current status. Maybe you are a Singapore PR going to buy a resale HDB. Maybe you are. Have a lot of clients who are in this situation. Okay, so the thing is that if you just dispose your overseas property, you're going to buy a resale HDB, just be upfront and put it in. Then you let the HDB officer assess whether or not you can buy the HDB. Sometimes they may ask from you some documents here and there. Just provide. And then I have cases of Malaysian PR. They sold away their Malaysian property. They want to buy a resale HDB. No problem, can buy, right? Just fulfill the documents lah. Just provide the relevant documents properly. They will be able to assist you with that, right? User ending with 6210. Jaden going to be expensive. Recently I just attend a interesting talk lah. 不贵不买. They said if not expensive, I don't want to buy. For sure, Jaden is going to be expensive. That's why we buy, right? Because Jaden is going to be a good quality product. If let's say a good quality product sell you cheap, you also scared to buy, right? Sales stock lah. Okay, Jaden, my take is that it's going to be priced averagely about 2003 per square feet to 2006 per square feet. This is all my own estimate. The developer official price guide is not yet out, right? We can take reference from Lake Garden. Lake Garden is selling at 2001 per square feet. Lake Garden is 3 bus stop away from Lakeside MRT along Yuanqing Road, and is selling at 2001 per square feet. Jaden is located within 500 meters of Jurong East MRT, directly connecting to Jurong East MRT with a J-walk happening at level 2. So selling at 2003 is reasonable, right? To me lah, 2003 per square feet to 2006. But eventually it depends on how much the developer is going to price it at, because for CapitaLand, this particular project, right, we cannot determine the break-even cost, because for them, right, they have gotten the written approval from government to redevelop it into a mixed-use development, whereby there is going to be a connecting point at J-Walk level 2, connecting it to Jurong East MRT. 398 units only, right? Then single tower, 40-story high. So that's what's happening going to be JCube lah. I think going to be at 2003 to 2006 thereabout lah. I think that is my own price estimate lah. I'm planning to sell my condo and going to get key this year. Should we renovate the house or just sell? Just sell lah, don't renovate. You renovate already, the next person that buy over may not like your renovation. Okay, so don't renovate your house. If let's say you are not intending to stay in it, just sell. Don't spend additional money to renovate. You can do home staging, no problem. Home staging is cheaper, right? Can increase the overall appeal. If you're not sure what I'm talking about, can PM me, right? Then just don't renovate, don't spend money to do renovation to the house, right? CPF refund plus cash proceed divided by 2.9. Yes, correct, Rod. This is the working formula that you can roughly get how much is your next target purchase price. That will be based on how much that you can get out of from your existing property. Then you can determine how much is your next purchase price. But the comments you type, I think you are elderly, right? So you need to check your age and your income as well, because if let's say you can't get loan anymore, right, then you will need to fork out a higher down payment, right? Because just now you were talking about 55 years old and all that, right? So I'm not sure how old you are. Jaden got property told us around 2.8. Maybe the top floor one, maybe top floor one better possible. Top floor one better 2008 per square feet. Possible. But anything is possible. What about BTO? You are talking about buying BTO. Same thing lah. You need to appeal with the HDB law. I think BTO the chances of it may be slimmer as compared to resale HDB, because usually for like resale HDB, right, the is more immediate for family stay lah. So you can always write into HDB to check and ask like what is the procedure is going to be like, right, for you to get the appeal done, the waiver done, right, for you to get the BTO. So if you are buying BTO, that means Singaporean you buy overseas property, Malaysia property, UK property, then you may need to provide all the necessary documents, like which year you buy, which year you sell, that kind of documents. The HDB officer will show us for these documentations, right? The reason because why HDB officer do all this, right, is to protect the public housing. They don't want rich people to abuse the system, so to speak. I'm SG but my girlfriend Malaysia. So you're buying together with your girlfriend, I guess. Your girlfriend is PR, right? Or your girlfriend is Singapore citizen. So all this you need to supply your information to the HDB officer, right? PR. PR. I don't think there's gonna be a big issue lah. You can just submit the HFE accordingly. Then you just key in the information. When you submit your HFE, there will be a question that they indicate over there. Do you own overseas property and all that, right? Then you just click no. Then the following question will be asked: do you dispose any private property or overseas property for the last for 15 or 30 months? Then they will just click yes. Then after that you key in the details for the properties that you've been sold. So the thing is that PR buyers, right, that have served many times, right, maybe they are coming from Indian, Chinese, Malaysian Chinese, right? They're coming here to buy a Singapore HDB resale flat, right? So a lot of times they also thought that I need to I just sold away my overseas property, I cannot buy. But it's like 自己吓自己, it's like own self scare own self, right? Maybe can buy one, but you just never try. You never try, you never know lah. So I always say this thing lah. You never try, you never know. Just put in your application for the HFE, then let the HDB officer do the processing for you. Yeah, so just try lah. Then they will ask for some supporting documents and all that Then just provide accordingly, right? Okay. Okay, so time check 12:20, 12:15. Okay, so I've been going live for how long? Almost 1.5 hours. For those people who are listening throughout, thank you very much for your support. Please do like and share. I'll try to do my live every Tuesday evening. By evening, I mean about 10 p.m. plus when I'm back from my work and all that. So if there's anything that you want to ask and all that, please feel free to comment. If not, I will end the live about 12:30 a.m. lah. Tomorrow still got work. I think most of you still need to wake up early and work. I also believe that you don't want to listen to me talk to you for so long lah. Uh, some people say that I talk has a calming effect, then can help them to sleep. So some of them, they on the live, then they never comment, they never type, just listen to me, then slowly fall into sleep. Not bad lah, huh? I think also got this purpose to help people to fall asleep better. Yeah. Okay. Do I need to dispose my current BTO if I wanted to get a shop house? Yeah, where I think okay, the commercial shop house, HDB shop house they are classified under commercial property. So if let's say you are buying a commercial property, you don't need to sell away your existing BTO. Reason being because HDB shop house, the primary base of it is still a commercial type property, but it is a special type of commercial property whereby there is a residential component, usually on the second floor. The second floor usually is a 3-room flat. So what happens is that if let's say you own a resale HDB, because your BTO 5 year already is considered resale already so you can buy the HDB shop house. You don't need to sell away your existing HDB, but you need to pay ABSD on the 3-room component. For example, say the resale value of the 3-room flat is 300,000, right? Then you need to pay 20% of the 300,000. Then if let's say the HDB shop house is at 1.8 mil, then the 300,000 is based on the resale value of the 3-room flat around that area. So you can buy the shop house without disposing your current HDB, right? So this is interesting thing lah, because HDB shop house is classified under commercial, right? Blah blah. My spouse is foreigner and we are not married yet. What can we buy? You got money, you can buy private lah. Alright. You're talking about HDB, is it? You can HDB, if you are a Singapore citizen, right? You can buy resale HDB. Resale HDB you can buy under foreign spouse scheme. There is this HDB scheme called foreign spouse scheme lah, right? Or if not, you got money, you just buy resale condo lor. You just buy private lah. Just buy private under your own name, right? Then just take it that your spouse income is not taking into consideration. Okay. If you still want to buy HDB, BTO is definitely out of the question, because BTO you need at least one Singapore citizen, one PR. So BTO is definitely out for you. Foreigner spouse scheme is the same. No. Okay. If you have not hit 35 years old, you have not married lah. I saw wrongly. You have to get married lah. No choice, because under the foreigner spouse scheme, if you are married with your foreigner spouse, then you can buy the HDB below 35 years old, right? That is for resale HDB lah. But you mentioned that you are not married, right? You're not married, then the HDB will look at you as a single. So as a single, you can only buy resale HDB above 35 years old. No choice lah. Our Singapore government is forcing people to get married to buy house lah. No choice lah. Yeah, that is the situation. If not, you have to strike 4D, strike Toto, so that you can buy private condo. Yeah, that is the situation now lah. Yeah. Hi John, October retail launch. Is it possible to upgrade and loan after MOP M34 this year? Oh, that one is oversubscribed, right? Kallang Wampo, that one. I saw in the news it's like heavily oversubscribed. Is it possible to upgrade a loan after MOP? You have to hit your 5-year MOP first, right, Joe? Your 5-year MOP has to meet first before you can apply. So if you have not, your existing flat has not MOP, right? Unfortunately, there's nothing you can do now, right? If you are aiming for your second HDB, maybe you can even consider EC, but EC usually the location is further off lah, right? So if you're aiming Kallang, maybe you want the location, you like the prime location of it, right? Cost is still resale 2 room for foreigners. Resale 2 room, not really, not really. If you are buying as a foreigner spouse, you can buy resale HDB 4 room, 5 room. I think no issue. I don't think there is any restrictions for you to buy as a foreigner spouse scheme. Resale HDB, there is no much of that restriction, right? I don't think they restrict you to buy only resale 2 room, right? Yeah. By the way, if PR, is it still considered foreigner spouse? No. PR is not foreigner already. Okay, there's different status. There is Singapore citizen, Singapore PR, and then there's foreigners. Foreigners meaning those under like long-term visiting pass and all that lah. So PR is definitely better than foreigner lah, right? So if you are buying as a matrimonial home, meaning to say that I'm a Singaporean husband, I buy with a PR wife, I buy jointly, I buy together with the property, right? It's a first matrimonial home, then there is no ABSD payable, right? So if you buy separate, then of course the first property under the PR, there is a 5% ABSD lah. Cost you must have long-term visiting pass for 6 months, then can apply for. Oh, is it? Your wife is under what pass now? What is the situation for you? What do you think of the property market forecast in 2024? Brutal sky. I would think that I just finished writing a short article this morning. I would think that now we are moving towards a side market until Q2 next year. Okay, side market meaning to say the overall market is stabilizing, right? The 2021, 2022, very vibrant. Wow, the price keeps shooting up. So 2023, leading up to 2024 Q2, we are taking a breather. So slowing down a little bit lah, right? So 2024 onwards, when the interest rate has been adjusted downwards in the US market side, 2024 Q3 onwards, we're going to see another bull run. We're going to see another uptrend run again. It's the same thing. It's the same cycle repeating again and again, over and over, right? This current market, it feels exactly the same as 2019, right? Whereby the so-called resale market has reached a point whereby the buyer feel is a bit pricey to go in. There's some price resistance. Seller don't want to drop price. Buyer don't want to increase price. We are in the tug of war situation, right? So the transaction volume is lower than usual, right? But this is just a cycle lah. So after a while, people start to realize that property price no matter what slowly will go up one. So the buying will still come back again lah. Right, I think it's under prime location. So after 10 years on, you are 39 already, is it? Oh, you are 34 plus 4, yeah, around there lah, 49. No, the loan is, okay, Joe, the loan is based on your application rate. Yeah, so when you apply it, not when you get the key. So by then 2024 is MOP it's not built so you are 34 this year. By the time when it's built is 30, you are 38 lah. 38 still can get loan no worries. You still have a long tenure to go for. you still be able to get 23 years, 65 minus 38, right? No pass, no no wife, also still in Korea, waiting to get same like my friend, Korean wife, very nice. Waiting to get married next year, Right, agreed, but it's a good sign. Want to apply for BTO and get resale, cause like entitlement. Yeah lah, no choice lah. Foreigner spouse scheme lor. I mean that is the most obvious situation lah. I mean that is the most ideal. Quickly get married. I mean if let's say your wife's side family they don't really mind, my suggestion is you can try to convince them to do the ROM first instead of holding the ceremony and all that. So you do the ROM first, then at least legally you are married in Singapore already. Then the housing process is easier for you. Then if let's say you want to do the marriage ceremony or that next year, right? Then you do it next year lah, like after you get a house. That is my suggestion for you. That is how you can quickly get the housing in Singapore. Because marriages, internationality, interracial marriages happening quite normal nowadays lah. So you're marrying a foreigner wife, she's from Korea, then she still don't have pass and all that, right? Then I'm not sure exactly how the marriage side, I'm not so familiar lah, but I think you need to check to see what is the fastest way to get yourself ROM. That means do the ROM first. Then with the ROM, you are so-called legally married, then it's easier to buy a house in Singapore, right? The ceremony, all that you can do next year lah, because it's just worried your wife's side lah, the family members, the parents may want some things or what, but do the ROM first lor, if it's okay. Want to apply BTO, okay. Yeah, at the age of 49, at the age of 49, you want to upgrade condo. Same thing like your loan tenure will get shorter because we just take 65 years minus 49, right? Still can get loan. It all depends on your income as well lah. But again, your income level, if it's high, then you have no worries about getting the loan. By then, your house, right, will also have some capital upside already, right? Will also have some buffer in terms of your down payment. So if you're getting the Kallang one, hopefully you make a very good sum of money, 500,000. The 500,000 will be can be used as a down payment for you to buy your next condo or EC. Still can get loan as long as you are working, as long as you are below 65 years old, you still can get loan. No worries. It's just that your loan tenure is shorter. But there is also other ways to extend it to 75 years old lah. They just do the extension or refinancing after that. So can be done. Don't worry too much. What do you think of Bartley Ridge 1 bedroom for 850k? Is okay. For investment purpose, just keep for rental, I think is still quite decent. 850k Bartley Ridge. Why not you compare around the options? I think 850k, not sure whether you can get better location or not. I mean, personally, I think Bartley Ridge is not bad, not a bad location, is still considered RCR. But Bartley Ridge, I find that the immediate nearby vicinity, right, don't have like very strong like coffee shop, mall and that kind of thing. So the people who are staying Bartley Ridge, they need to take one MRT up or one MRT down, either to Tai Seng for the food or either to Serangoon for the mall and the food lah. So it's a bit not so convenient for some people who are staying there lah, for Bartley Ridge. But if you are buying there for investment and all that, then can compare around, see whether is there any other good options based on the budget of 850,000, right? 850,000, one bedder, the newer ones. What else is there? I don't know whether Sim Urban Oasis still can find or not. If let's say you still can find 850k Sim Urban Oasis, maybe lah, just giving you a suggestion, maybe you want to shift your attention to Sim Urban Oasis. I think that project is better in terms of like rental as well as future capital appreciation, right? Sim Urban Oasis, can check this project out lah. Poise quantum about 1.21. You're talking about how many bedroom type? 1.21, two bedder you're referring to? Not sure which one you're talking about. 0091. You got recommendations, Affinity like a bit far. Affinity, um, Affinity is far lah. Yeah, but have to rely on the upcoming MRT law. The Cross Island Line, the MRT is coming up. So 850k. Just now I mentioned a Sim Urban Oasis. Maybe you can try to check that one up. If not, 850k. What else can you get near MRT station? Tampines area, Pasir Ris. Coco Palm don't know still got or not. Coco Palm maybe still have. Coco Palm you say at least Pasir Ris, yes lah, it's Pasir Ris, but it's like the further east. But at least there got a mall, and then there got a MRT, so it's not bad lah. But Bali Ridge only got MRT. Then Bali Ridge, the nearby amenities not very comprehensive lah. I mean that's my opinion. Sim Urban, Sim Urban Oasis also got the typical unit type. They got loft. They also got the typical unit type. So it's not all loft one. It's got some is typical unit type. Yeah. What do you think of riverfront residence as an investment? You're buying it for now, right? You're buying for investment. Riverfront. Riverfront, from what I understand, is that the one bedder over there, right, is quite high in supply. So I would suggest not to buy into the one bedder over there. The 2-bed, 1 bath also is a bit tricky. Minimally, if you want to, you can look at the 2-bed 2 bath if budget allows. If not, just buy the 3-bedder with the yard if possible lah. Then make sure that it's good enough for the family to stay. Try to avoid the 3-bedroom compact if budget allows lah. 3-bedroom compact is not very appealing for family to stay, right? Champion Treasure at Tampines 3-bedder can. So it really depends on how you see it lah, right? The thing is that 3-bedder, your entry price, what you want to buy at, right? Tired, 3-bedroom, just now I mentioned the same thing to our brother Sky over here, right? Buy something that family is appealing to family, right? Space, preferably an enclosed kitchen, preferably there is a yard, there is a utility room for the helper to stay, right? Good size, no wasted space, that kind of layout, right? You need to go in depth to check out the different floor plan, which is the most appealing for family. Then yourself, you go and check out, see the actual unit in person. I think some of the units in Treasure at Tampines already collected keys, so you can go in and see. I've been there last week. Wow, the place is freaking huge, man. The Treasure at Tampines. On the floor, on the side plan, it looks like very compact, the block to block. But when you're there, it's like, very huge development. It's like a huge mini township on its own. Got people recommending Florence or Garden, but see online. Oversupply is good, but don't afraid of oversupply. Oversupply is good for buyers like us because there's competition for price. The seller is competing among themselves to sell to you cheap. So oversupply is good as a buyer. Yeah, if let's say undersupply, then that is not good because like the resale market happening in the COVID market, I remember I want to recommend a family to stay in Coven residence. The whole property guru only got 1 3-bedroom selling. Walao, how to no options. So you're at the mercy of the seller. Right, oversupply is good. 915 square feet. I need to see the floor plan. I am not very sure in terms of Treasure Tampines. 915 square feet, is it the compact type one? For 3-bedroom, maybe I just give you a quick criteria lah. 3-bedroom, my criteria is all the common bedrooms must be able to fit queen size bed, which Treasures can right? All the common bedrooms must be able to fit queen size bed, Preferably the kitchen can be an enclosed kitchen. Preferably there is a yard space at the back, and then also there is a small utility for the maid. 915 square feet I think don't have that utility. It should be the 3-bedroom compact. Then you compare around the different units that are for sale in the Property Guru, in the listing website. You see which one is more affordable, or which one is more, the entry price is more attractive for you, right? Single guy can buy which condo in us? Single guy can buy anywhere as long as you got money, no problem. Single, you're buying for own stay, I guess, right? Single guy can buy which condo in ASEA. ASEA got a lot of condos that you can choose from, alright. Personal favorite, I mean, Park Esta is already completed. Park Esta, Sim Urban Oasis. If let's say you want Central East, Green Line. If you want Central West, maybe the Commonwealth, Redhill, Tiong Bahru, right? That's also ASEA, right? If you want maybe Purple Line, then can consider Ulay, Boon Keng, Farrer Park, right? Single guy, anywhere you can buy as long as you got money. But what if next time I want to sell next time? Okay, the TOP search, right? But for this TOP search, right, is only temporary, because after 1 to 2 years, right, the whole thing will start to fade off. Meaning to say, now there is a high supply in the market, is good for you to come in as a buyer. I always use this analogy like durian. You buy durian during the hot season or during the not so hot season. Of course, when there is a bumper crop, right? You buy when there is a bumper crop, because that is where that you can get a good price. But you see, after a few years, right, the thing will start to fade away, because some people, they buy for own stay. Some people, they buy to rent it out. So for the next few years, those people has already sold it off, right? They won't put it up for sale anymore. So that the whole thing will be more spaced out, because people will have different exit point. Some people, they buy at TOP, they stay there for 10 years, then they sell. Some people, they buy at TOP, they would sell again in 5 years time. So everybody will have different exit point. I don't know whether you know what I mean. So this TOP spike is only temporary. This supply that come out during the TOP is only temporary. After that, different people has different exit point, then it will sort of like space out lah. It will fade out. So if you are buyers seriously looking at buying an attractive unit, go in at the TOP period. That's where there is high supply. High supply is good for buyer. You have options to choose from, right? What do you think of Affinity or Garden Residences? They totally have nothing. Over there, you have to wait for the new MRT that's coming up. The area, you have the what's that called? The upcoming Serangoon North MRT station, right? Then over there, people are relying on the Yio Chu Kang bus stop lah. They have to use the bus stop there to get around for the time being, right? So Garden Residences is a smaller project. Garden Residences, between the two, I would suggest, again, it really depends on price lah, but just based on project alone, my tendency is still going towards Affinity, because it is a much larger project. There was going to be more transactions happening over there, so at least that will help in terms of your exit next time, right? Exit with good upside lah. For own stay, Affinity is also ideal, because you know the market over there. There's a market at block 152, 154, that cluster. It's that area. There's some coffee shop and all that. So from Affinity main entrance, right, it's walkable distance to the Serangoon CC, the block 151, 152, the area. The area, there's a cluster of it's like a mini market township kind of thing lah. By 20301 in 3 will be over 65. Many will be relying on downgrading to finance their retirement. Do you think there will be a large supply, large units in 2032? 2030? large supply of large units. You think of it this way, you see the developers nowadays, they build their projects, right? They have different percentages of the unit type. So some projects you can see that 50% is 1 bedroom and 2 bedroom, 50% is 3 bedroom and 4 bedroom. Then the 3 bedroom will always be higher in terms of amount compared to the 4 bedroom. So you're talking about like the bigger 3 bedroom, bigger 4 bedroom, the supply is still somewhat capped, because in a sense, don't forget that the government is always importing people. So we see a lot of new citizens, naturalized citizens coming into Singapore. So these families, they are also absorbing the supply of the bigger room type. So by 2030, I expect this whole thing is going to be continuing. The seniors nowadays also live longer. So I would say that even if they are over 65, the life expectancy maybe is at 85, 90. They still got a good 25 years, 30 years to go on. So it's not necessary that everybody is going to sell off. A lot of them they may just rely on their maybe insurance, savings and all that. So I don't think everyone will be selling off their property all at the same time. A lot of them, they have strong holding power. Don't belittle our seniors over here in Singapore. A lot of them are very affluent, right? So they don't really need to rely on downgrading to finance their retirement, right? So this issue, I also thought about it. In fact, I also dive a bit deep into the numbers and all that. I don't think that this so-called aging population is going to cause a huge impact in our housing market. I don't think it is going to be that significant, because the government is also importing importing human into Singapore, right? What do you Cross Island Line not so far off, right? I think 2029, right? 2029 there about, I think should be up already, right? Just hang on hang on, wait for it to happen, right? What do you think of staying in shop house and renting out HDB? You're buying HDB shop house, yeah, good choice if you are okay with it, right? Shop houses, some people, last time, the olden days, why people buy shop houses is because they are running their business downstairs. Like one of my client, he's a what's that term? Optician, 眼镜店. One of my client, he's running a spectacle shop. So he stay upstairs and then he's running his business downstairs. So that is the concept of shop house last time. They have their self and their family to house under the same building, and sometimes they even have their workers house on the residential component. So there is a bit of a history of shop house, but over time you see the shop house become more and more valuable, right? Last time people don't really want to stay in shop house, but now because collectible items, so the shop house, suddenly the value shoot up, right? So if you want to do that, yes, of course, yeah, as long as you don't mind the environment. Last time why people don't want to stay in shop houses is because the downstairs is also very vibrant. There's a lot of human activities, because the shop houses usually is like a market center and all that, right? So your downstairs is going to be very crowded and all that. So it really depends on whether you are okay with it. Is condo prices going to continue to go up? Will next gen be able to afford? This is the question I asked myself many times. 4 years ago, 5 years ago, I asking the same question already. You see, the thing is that our parents' generation, they are young also, right? Last time our parents also young, were also young before lah. They also have the same mindset. Wow, price is very expensive for housing and all that. Am I going to afford? My next gen, will my next gen be able to afford? Same thing lah. Now we're also asking the same question, right? Wow, we also finding hard to afford, right? Our next gen, how to afford? But the thing is that we cannot deny the fact that the income growth, right? The median household income is keep on increasing. So you see, like nowadays, youngsters, maybe in their early 30s, combined income easily more than 5-figure one. So far, all the clients that I met so far you see like the younger generation in their early 30s, as long as they got themselves a decent job, they got a good education, combined income more than 5-figure is quite common nowadays, very common nowadays. So if you're talking about this kind of profile not being able to afford condo, then quite not possible lah. So like the next gen, they really depends on how Singapore government going to grow the economy and grow the country really. By then, we may not be around lah, so I'm not sure how it's going to be turning out. But if you look at the whole of Singapore economy, we are relying on a lot of factors to attract wealth coming into this country lah. So we have a lot of affluent individuals from other countries coming into Singapore, right? So they're either bringing their money over here or they're bringing their businesses over here. So when they bring their money and businesses over here, it only means one thing: our Singaporean local workforce, right, will be enjoying a higher salary. So this is my belief lah, right? How the Singapore will pan out in the future. We are going to be something like what's the country? There's this country in the Europe, like it's a concentration of all the super wealthy. Monaco, yes, it is Monaco. So it's a concentration of all the wealthy individuals staying over there. So I somewhat think that Singapore is going into that direction lah. That it's going to be a country whereby we are very political neutral in terms of the geopolitics. Then a lot of other affluent individuals of other countries are coming into Singapore, whether we like it or not. So that will continue to push up the condo price. That's how it's gonna be. I like yes, thank you very much. My ender is insightful router. I work for MNC. Most expect 4-room, a family renting 4-room. If you are central, yes, correct, precisely. So if you are yourself, you can use yourself as an example. You look at your expats colleagues, right? What kind of areas they are renting at, how much they are paying in terms of rental. Then you can see whether or not this kind of location is worthwhile to invest or not. Integrated development RCR worth buying. Integrated development, right? Okay, there is a criteria how I priced it lah. A normal condo versus an integrated development condo, the the range is about 15%. That means to say, tenants and home buyers, right, they are willing to pay 15% more premium for the convenience to stay in the integrated development. So we can use projects like Watertown in Punggol, Watertown versus Treasure Trove. We can use projects like Potong Pasir, the Poise versus opposite like Venue, St. Reed's. All these you can use a price comparison. And then you can use maybe like Yishun, that one is what's that project? North Park. And then you can compare it with further away one. Maybe you can compare like Symphony Suites. So it really depends on the entry price. So I can't say it's worth buying or not. It depends on entry price. Because if you overpay, then obviously no lah, don't buy lah. But if let's say it's priced right, and then it's a good opportunity, then RCR integrated development, go ahead. Reserve residences is a good buy. You see, buyers are very sharp. First day, sold very fast because the developer priced right. The developer priced it very sweet that so many people enter. Do you think Sengkang EM value will appreciate much in the next 10 years? Sengkang EM, which year? Sengkang EM is quite new, right? the EM, okay, EM is becoming a collectible items lah. Same thing lah. Low supply, high demand, prices go up. Same thing. Government stop building EM already. Government don't build any executive mansionette anymore. They stop totally. The biggest room type that they built for HDB is 5-room. So you see the EM has becoming low in supply, right? So definitely the next 10 years, people who are upgrading into a bigger house, they are looking in either EA, executive apartment, or EM, executive mansionette. So prices will still appreciate for the next 10 years. This is how I see it lah. It is like the rich people of the HDB lah. Put it this way, like they don't want to overspend in the private market, but yet they want space, right? Then no choice lah. They have to go and look for big size 5-room HDB or EA executive apartment or EM executive mansionette. To be honest, true. You see, 31 years old only, so young. Combined income 16K already, right? So as long as you do, I mean, you get a decent job in the right industry, in the right company, your pay is quite good one. This is what I observe from all my clients so far. Early 30s, some of them, in fact, more than 20 already. Combined income more than 20 already. Hi John, should I apply for BTO and just wait for renting here? You are foreigner, is it? Apply for BTO. Renting here is painful. Yes, first property, get it as soon as possible if you can, right? So you avoid, first thing first, you avoid paying rental. Okay, it's always wise to quickly buy your first home because you are your own tenant, right? It's obviously cheaper to rent it to yourself, right? Because other people rent to you, they charge you higher. But if you buy your own house, you are your own tenant, you pay yourself, you save money, right? This is the situation for your first property. If you are shifting from your tenant, that means you are moving yourself from paying rental to a home occupier. Definitely you will save money over the long term. Definitely you will make money and you will save money. Your question is, you want to ask BTO? It really depends on the renting. Maybe you try to find whether still able to get a sales or balance or not. Because for yourself, you're paying rental. So I don't know whether you are renting a big house with your friends or yourself. Because if it's, let's say, just a common room rental or just a room rental, maybe it's $600-$700 per month. Then I would advise just go and get the BTO. But if you are paying like 3,000, 4,000 per month, then maybe you will want to quickly go and buy a resale HDB lah. We have to work out the numbers lah. We can plot out the numbers, because BTO you need to pay 4 more years of rental. So then you have to calculate whether that 4 more years of rental does it worth it or not for the potential upside that you'll be getting from the BTO. So this one we have to work out the numbers lah. So it's really either option A or option B. Very straightforward. Heard Tengah have a few ECs. Are they good buy? Tiangong West got transformation plan. Yeah, transformation plan is happening in the West. The West is the next government focal point, right? Jurong CBD area, Jurong Regional Centre, Innovation District. There's going to be also the Tuas Mega Port. So there are going to be big transformation ongoing in the West. So EC is like sure win one lah. So as long as you can get EC, just go for it. The next one in the West will be the plot next to Altura. That one will be next year. I think likely they will launch next year, Chinese New Year lah, by CDL. So if you can aim for it, please faster go and take. If you are buying as a first timer, it's almost guaranteed that you can get it one. Second timer is the headache. Second timer, you have to rely on balloting luck, right? So that will be challenging, right? So if you want to go for EC, just take, just straightforward, just take, because the profit margin is too big already, right? It's almost like sure win one. So far in the history of Singapore, we have not seen anybody losing money from buying EC. Meaning to say buy direct from developer one, not buy resale one. So this is just for your information, right? Dual Woodley Poise Reserve all around 2. Which one is the best single? 5 to 7 years. Dual Woodley Poise Reserve. Reserve I think is much more expensive though. Reserve is like 2.4. Poise I have not checked. Woodley is brand new. Dual is older but it's in Bugis. Single stay 5 to 7 years. 2 bedroom. This one is a bit tough to analyze off the mind lah. 0091. Maybe you drop me a WhatsApp. I help you to do a more in-depth comparison. I need to use my Excel to help you to do the calculation, right? Because all 4 of them, right? Actually, if you say Poise, Poise is not really integrated, because to me, to me, I think the strongest one of these four, right? Woodleigh has the bus interchange. Reserve has the bus interchange. Poise, you only have MRT and shopping mall. Dual, you have MRT. You don't have shopping mall. I mean, it's not directly connected lah. You still need to walk. Poise downstairs, you are shopping mall already. Poise downstairs, you are MRT already. Reserve Woodleigh, same thing. Downstairs, you have MRT, shopping mall, bus interchange. But Woodleigh, the shopping mall, not that fantastic lah, right? Probably I just off my mind Reserve lah. I mean, just based on these four and the fundamentals that off my mind. But again, depending on entry price, depending on unit type, yeah. But as of now, I would say Reserve, right? Singapore talent pool is limited, competitive. Yes, correct. MNC want to pay top money to invite our affluent brothers and sisters from other countries to come in Singapore and work. Hire foreigners, they need Singaporean. Works out eventually. Yes, you are right. So Singaporeans benefit lah, no choice. The MNC want to set up shop in Singapore, they have to fulfill some quota and all that also. Is resale Park Centrals or 3-bedroom treasures worth buying? Park Centrals in Punggol is old already. I mean older lah in comparison with Treasure at Tampines 3-bedder. Plus Treasure at Tampines 3-bedder now is super supply. Just now I don't know whether you're inside. I just mentioned you want to buy durian at good price, you wait for bumper crop, right? So same thing. Now Treasure at Tampines is having a bumper crop, right? A lot of the owners there are selling. So you go in there, source around, you see whether got good deals or not, right? Because there are so many sellers over there trying to sell away their 3-bedroom over at Tampines at Treasure, right? So you can go in over there to suss out lah, to find out lah whether there's any good deals over there, right? How do I Brian Shah? Freelancer, okay. Freelancer is same as us, self-employed. So just make sure that you need 2 years of NOA. You need to report your income tax for 2 years. Your NOA, if you don't know what is NOA, it is Notice of Assessment. So freelancer is also a self-employed. So you need to report your trade income. You need to report yourself. Freelancer, you are a digital marketer, you are a tuition teacher, you are a swimming coach, or are you a piano teacher? Brian. Freelancer, just report your income lor. Report your trade income. Then self-employed, 2 years NOA is the documents required for you to secure your loan. Then once you have your loan, you can go and buy your either HDB or condo, right? Yeah. Thanks for it. Yeah, welcome. Thanks for the like, thanks for the share, thanks for follow. Right, thanks for follow. Next time I go live, you will be notified. I'll try to do it every Tuesday evening. This month BTO no demand liao. Hope next time when I sell my property have buyer. Why you say this month no demand? Still have demand. The BTO still quite okay. Oh, dancer, you are a dancer. Interesting. Alright. Yeah, just remember to report your income lah. The every year is around April. You need to submit your NOA, right? Just remember to do it if you have not done so. You just started work, is it? So don't know, not sure about this thing called the NOA. Yeah. So just make sure that you report your annual income properly. Then you have track record. If you do not have a credit card, please apply a credit card also. I think you sound like a young buyer, a young person. So the credit card is very useful because you need to form credit payment in the credit bureau, right? Some people, they like to use debit card, but debit card is not really that good actually. Not saying not that good but you just need to apply one credit card, then make sure you pay in full every month, right? And also make sure you call in the bank to waive the annual fee right? Then it will form a payment record in the credit bureau, right? Then that is where that the system will know that you are a good payment master, right? You you are a person who know how to pay on time, then that is where your credit rating will go higher up. Then next time you take loan, it's easier already. Okay? Right. Wow, now it's so late already. Okay, wow, 1 a.m. already. I will be ending my live very soon. Thank you very much for all that staying on. Those who have fall asleep while I'm talking, good night and sweet dreams. I will be ending my live already. Thank you everyone for the support. If you have any questions, please feel free to check in again. I will go live every Tuesday evening. Please remember to like my account or follow my account so that next time I go live, you'll be notified. Alright, thank you very much and good night.